All right, welcome to the Knackly Q&A. This is new for us. The format we're going to do with these Q&As is that the first little segment will be kind of a training on how to do specific tasks in Knackly, and then if there are questions that either are submitted beforehand or submitted during the Q&A, then we'll also answer those. If there's anything that we feel like we need to take offline, we'll take that offline. So that's how we're going to go through and do these Q&As, and we're excited to be continuing to help our users to further integrate Knackly into their processes. So today, what we're going to do is teach you how to set up external intakes. So if you want to have your client come to your website, fill out information online, and have that information all flow into the documents, today we're going to talk about how to do that. So, and the steps to set that up. There certainly are other steps that you can do with layouts and making it look nice. We're not going to go into those today, but I will show a little bit of how we can set it up, kind of some options that are available. So the first thing that we need to do when we are setting up external intakes is we need to tell Knackly that that's what we want to have that be available. So all we do is go to settings. We say allow external intakes, then we give it a portal name. So I'm going to say Knack and Associates portal name portal. And then I can put my terms of service, these. And this is something that you can put in. Then I just click Save. And with that, I now have switched on that I can do external intakes. There's a couple more setup processes to it. I'll go to the designer. And then I'm going to I'm going to create a template that I want to do as my external intake. I've already created a template here. You can see what I've done right here. This is my template that I'm using. Basically, I'm asking for the clients. The example is estate planning, but this could apply to anything. I'm going to ask for my client, the spouse, children, and any assets, so that we've got all the information there. So that's the template that I've created beforehand. I've also got a client will that I've done previously, but for this case, we're going to do the external intake. So I've got my external intake, I've saved it, I've uploaded it. Now I'm going to go to apps. I'm going to create a new app, and I'm going to call this client intake. And this is when we get to the apps, this is the one place that you can have spacing. Then I just say what my initial template's going to be. I'm going to say external intake, and I'm going to click Save. Now, once I click Save, you'll see that I've got my app template. I could add more templates to this if I wanted to, but I've got my main template that I'm going to use. I've got a couple options here. I can say the app is going to generate the document, so online when you run it, you'll be able to see that the client will be able to download the document right after if you say that yes to that. And I'm going to say that the app is going to be designed for access to external users. Couple options here that you'll want to make note of. Automatically close external app access when app is complete. So what this means is that after you go through and fill out everything, and they say, as opposed to saying save and exit, you'll see it says complete. If I click complete, that means that the user can't go back in and change any answers. So there may be cases that you only want them to once they click complete, you don't want them to be able to make any adjustments. You're going to do that internally. That's what you do with automatically closes. Then we also have show further instructions message. I could do thank you for filling out the information. This can be as long or short as you want. You see it will expand accordingly. So this basically is the internal thank you page. If I've got app generates document, right below this you'll see a place that they can download the document. Your other option is that you can navigate to another URL. So say when they're done you actually want to get them back onto your website, you can give a URL on your website that as your, what we call a thank you page, and you can take it from there. So in this case I'm just going to keep it with show further instructions message. I'm going to press save. Next step is I am going to go to the catalog, and under estate planning I've got my client intake. I'm going to check it for external access, and then I've got to set up my notification group. So notification group, I'm going to go here, groups, and I'll create a new one, client intake, and then I'm going to add users to it. I'm the only one on this account, so I'm going to add that. But this way, if you have a group of people that you want to have this email go to, then you can send it to that group. Come back here, I'll select that, press save. Now, the external intake is now set up. Now it's time to test it. This is the link that you would use if you want to put this on your website. This is the link that you'd put on your website to have, or in an email, anytime you want the client to access it. So I am going to go ahead and do Firefox. I'm going to upload it. And the reason why I'm doing this, so I have a separate browser, because if I log in, then it would actually, it would take me right into my current system. But now, so here you've got logo that you can put on. You'll see that I did the access to Knack and Associates portal. You can edit this. They can sign in with Google, Facebook, Microsoft, or email. I am going to log into my Gmail just so you can see how the email works. And I am going to shut down my, okay. All right, so I've got my email. So we do dual authentication here. So I'm going to say Mayberry, I'm a new user, and I'm going to do Knackly demo@gmail.com. So when we go through and use email, we do have a registration. So we send you a link, and I'm just going to click refresh. So I went to my promotions, and I click confirm, and then I can set up your password. And the reason why we've done this is for security reasons, so that if someone fat fingers the email address, you've got control of it. If you don't want to go through that process, you can use Google, Facebook, or Microsoft, and those work as well. Now I can just go through and fill out the information. So I'll say it's a married client. I'm not going to fill out everything, but this is all the information that I'm collecting. You can add videos to this. You can add images here. You can add help text to it. It really gives you the opportunity to really create experience for your clients. So, I did client. There's the same address. Yes, birthday. Okay, so I can save and exit, which means that I can go back in. I can also, in this case, I've got assets here, so I'm going to add an asset just so you can see who the owner is. You'll see help screen. You can put anything in there. This is a test type of bank account. Say checking. And then I can actually attach files to it. So I'm going to go to my system over here, and I'm going to if I want to attach the Bank of America statement, I can drag it in. It will upload it, press OK, and then I've got I can go through and do my assets. So now I can click complete. You'll see my thank you page. This, I said I could download it. You can actually name what you want to name this. You can actually do that in Knackly. And I can just say open it if I want to open it. And then I've got all the information that I filled out. And you can go through, of course, get formatting and everything there. So now everything's gone through. They filled out information online. I can go back to Knackly. If I go to estate planning, you'll see that John and Jane Klein are here. I can look at what they did. I can see attachments and download those. I can create, basically from the intake, I could go through and do a new estate plan app. And within the new estate plan app, I can go through and select everything, add anything else. And because I just did a will here, I'm not going to see all my the assets because I didn't list them in the will, but I can do executors and just do a drop down here and click complete and fill it out. So that's one way to go through and do an estate, to do an external intake, and basically sending them from the website. Now the other approach to getting people into the intake is say they call you, you get some information from the client, and then you want to be able to send them a link directly so that they can hop into and finish it off. So let's go through how to set that up. So now I'm going to do, and the way I approach this, you can do it a couple different ways, but I'm going to create a new text template and call it and just to show you what, and then I'm actually copying and pasting, and we'll have this in the help when we so app link, and then it's the app name. So in this case, it's external intake, comma, client, and then it's the email. So the variable that you set up as the email, comma, and then the username. So app link, client, email, then username. So now I'm just going to do client full name and put my parentheses, just click save. Now I just got to make sure I really named that external intake so it matches up. No, I did it as client intake. So I got to change that. Click save. So if I want to be able to see this, a couple things that I've been doing, you could put this right into an email template if you wanted to create an email, basically a DOCX template, so that at the end it automatically fills out an email form. It basically says, "Dear John," and then we can put this external link in there and have that filled out. The other thing I've done with it is I've added it to layouts before. So I could come to my layouts, and after client, I put the external link there. I could put an if statement around it. So if there's no email, it says you need one. So you've got some flexibility there, but just so you can see how this works. And in this case, I'm just going to go back into the client intake. So it doesn't have any email, so it doesn't know what to do. So if I put john@gmail.com, it does have some error correction there. Now I've got this link, and you can basically copy it. And I'm going to make sure I log out. So you can see how this would work. And one other thing here, I've got that. I'm going to actually delete the user so that the email has to be an email that is valid. So just so you know, so let's go to Firefox, and you'll won't go. And what you'll see is when they sign in this time, you'll have their email, so they know what email account it is, what the full name is. They set their password, and they can register and confirm, and it takes them right into the intake. So let's do that. You'll see I've got John and Jane clients, all the information that I had filled out in Office. You know, if you were using a CRM and you link that to Knackly, you know, all that information could flow in and have it create. So that is how external intakes work, and kind of the training that we're going to do on external intakes and how to set it up. So now if there are questions, please go ahead and put your question in the box, and we'll have this is your free time to have us, you know, go into any questions that you have, and we'll do our best to answer them. And if we can't answer them right here on the call, then we will go through and get with you afterwards to answer any questions that way. So we'll just stay on here. Since this is our first one, our numbers are smaller, and it will just continue to grow, and we're excited about doing this and getting the training out there and helping you get more effective in how to use Knackly and document automation.